This is my first story, so here we go. Back in 2017, I had a bunch of events that actually led me to be in Charlottesville, Virginia. And sitting there, a friend of mine and I went down because we knew that the alt-right entities were going to be active, and that there was going to be also a bunch of left-leaning active entities as well. And I wanted to see how far it was going to go. I had previously been at the Ku Klux Klan rally as the only member of the press. I made my press pass on the computer. I went to Gettysburg on July 1st of 2017 under the impression that it was going to be a big throwdown is what they said. But I knew that was kind of weird because there's no Southern soldiers going. They said that the Antifa and Black Lives Matter and somebody else was going to be burning an American and Confederate flag on the grounds. And it didn't make sense to me because that was the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, was July 1st. There's no Southern soldiers buried there, so why would they be there? That and Antifa doesn't really leave the city. They kind of stick out. It's just the way it is. So in August, I ended up down there, and first thing when we pulled up to the park, I realized that military police were walking up with shields. And I walked out and snapped some pictures. I had my voice recorder going, and I realized by looking at other members that say press across their Kevlar helmets and their full flak jackets, I was terrified because I was dressed in a t-shirt and a pair of jean shorts, and I had my computer made press pass hanging from my neck. And ended up walking along with the march around the city, and they had stopped at this crossroads section. And I had thought that an explosion occurred, and I just didn't hear it correctly. I saw people fly up in the air, and it's kind of crazy. But I used to work as an EMT in EMS, so I knew what to do, so I walked forward. The first person had a femur fracture, but somebody was already holding tension on it, or holding traction on it, keeping it from hurting him too much. Then there was a guy laying there with a backpack on. Helped roll him off. And that's when I saw a woman laying on her back. Someone came up next to me she said an ICU nurse somewhere, I don't know. I went to do my trauma assessment, and when I got to the back of her head, my fingers sunk to the first knuckle into her skull. And I touched her brain, and I realized this is going to be a really shitty situation. So ended up screaming for somebody to call 911, like, you, get on the phone, tell them we need people here. The lady beside me checked for a pulse and asked what my knowledge was of what I'm doing. And I told her. That's the first time in my life. I worked as an EMT for 6 years, went to paramedic school. First time in my life that I blew air into somebody's mouth. Every other time you had a bag valve mask, and it's always there. So She started CPR because there was no pulse. I finally got a bag valve mask at some point, and that's when the military police came out and decided, hey, we're clearing the block. Started screaming, clearing the block. And they ended up hitting me. I ended up on Vice News. I ended up on in Black Klansman. Yeah, it was a crazy summer. I would like to tell more of my story over like a series, but you know, it's pretty crazy. I had to get 3 fingers of whiskey right after that because it was pretty hard, but went right back to it and then watched a bunch of right-wingers get the shit beat out of them because they wouldn't leave. Told them, I'm not telling you what to do, I just wouldn't advise it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, thank you.